Donald Trump just ended the petrodollar and the dollar as the global reserve currency. From today onwards, the dollar is no longer going to be the global reserve currency. To be honest, I'm completely surprised and shocked. There is a ceasefire broke between Iran and the United States, and this ceasefire basically says that Iran, whatever you want, the United States of America is ready to do that. Now in this video, it will seem like I'm so disappointed that there is a ceasefire. No, I'm always pro-peace, I'm always pro-ceasefire, I'm always like anti-war. But the reality is that the United States has started this war, and the United States put at risk the US dollar as the global reserve currency. And now the United States is literally backing out from this war, giving a sign to the rest of the world that the United States can no longer defend the dollar as the global reserve currency. So what I will do in this video, I will explain what are the points that the United States has agreed with Iran, how that is going to impact the stock market, gold prices, and the dollar as their global reserve currency. So first of all, the first thing they have agreed is that they will lift all the sanctions from Iran, the primary sanctions and the secondary sanctions. Imagine for a moment, Iran has been under sanctions for about 50 years. Their economy has been collapsing. Iran has been under hyperinflation, like the entire economy was collapsing. Now, as a result of this war, they will literally got all the sanctions lifted. I think Iran soon is going to be the most powerful economy in the region, probably the entire world. We will see a $5 trillion economy pretty soon. Secondly, Iran will continue the control of the Strait of Hormuz. Just to give you some context, just before the war, the Strait of Hormuz was open. Nobody had control. It was like an open sea, so all ships could cross. From today onwards, Iran will have the entire control of the Strait of Hormuz. And that means that if you want to cross the strait, you need the security of Iranian military. And that means that you will pay a toll to Iran. So from today onwards, any ship that will cross the Strait of Iran will pay Iran a toll. That could be $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And that might mean that if you want to actually sell your oil from Middle East, you might want to consider other currencies besides the US dollar. Thirdly, the United States will withdraw from Middle East. This is insane. Like, there are dozens of military bases all across the Middle East. In Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, and across the entire region. And now if all of these bases will be closed down and they will the Middle East, and now the Middle East will be empty, which power is going to dominate the Middle East? And there are two powers right now. It is Israel and Iran. So if Iran would manage to actually control the Strait of Hormuz, all these Gulf countries will be at the mercy of Iran. So here's the question. The petrodollar was signed as a result that the United States will protect these countries. There are going to be security guarantees between these countries, and in exchange, these countries will be selling oil exclusively in the US dollar. That agreement was in 1974. And because it's exclusively sold in the US dollar, the rest of the world would buy oil exclusively in the US dollar. So if you are Japan, South Korea, whatever country you are, and you need a lot of oil because your factories won't be working, you are going to buy a lot of US dollars. So everybody is buying a lot of US treasuries because they need these treasuries to continuously buy US dollars or to continuously buy oil. But now that's no longer going to be the case. Again, this is not me coming out. This is the 10-point plan that the United States and Iran has agreed. This is what literally Donald Trump tweeted that they have agreed, and this is what Iran said, this is what we have agreed with Donald Trump. An end to attacks on Iran and its allies. So no more attacks on Iran. And who are the allies of Iran? It is Lebanon, it is Yemen, it is partially Iraq maybe, and it's also the Palestine, like the Gaza Strip, right? Now, this basically means that if you want Israel to stop attacking you, you want to be part of the Iranian ceasefire. So right now, it is far more beneficial for any country in the Middle East to be allied with Iran, because nobody is going to attack you. Because literally the plan includes that if you are part of Iran, if you're allied with Iran, you won't be attacked. The release of the frozen Iranian assets. So when the United States put sanctions on Iran, they've actually frozen so many Iranian assets. And now all these assets will be released because all sanctions will be released. And now there are no more pressure on the Iranian economy, the end of hyperinflation, and a lot of money will be flowing back to Iran. Maintain the rights to enrich uranium. So Iran will be able to develop its civilian nuclear program. They will be able to build nuclear power plants. And as long as you have nuclear power plants, it's not really that difficult sometime in the future to turn that into a nuclear weapon. Now, I'm not saying that they will do that. I'm not actually claiming anything. All I'm saying is that this is literally what Iran asked before the war started. Like before the war, Iran made it clear, we don't want nuclear weapons, but we have the right to actually enrich uranium because we want to build nuclear power plants. And the United States position was very clear that you are not allowed to do that because you might use that as a base to build your nuclear weapons in the future. But now the US is like, oh, you can have all of that, no problem. We have no problem as long as you open the Strait of Hormuz and charge us millions of dollars. Seems like Donald Trump is an agent of Iran that started this war to simply as an excuse to give Iran everything Iran wants. Honestly, I can't still believe this. Honestly, I'm still in a state of shock. Reparations paid to Iran for war damages. Donald Trump claims that he has eliminated the entire navy of Iran, the entire whatever infrastructure, their planes. Now the United States taxpayers will be paying for everything that was destroyed in Iran. I mean, seriously? This is what victory looks like. And then all of that should be actually ratified in a UN Security Council resolution, making any deal binding. So it's supposed to be legally binding. So if you look at all of these 10 points, it seems like Iran is getting far more than they have asked for. This is nothing but a defeat for the United States. If you think otherwise, please let me know. Iran got everything they want. The United States will abandon the Middle East. No more oil will be sold in US dollars because there is no more reason for that. The entire agreement just collapsed in front of us. The United States has agreed to that. And the United States was pressured to accept this deal from other nations, just like the UK was pressured to abandon the Suez Canal. So back in 1950s, if I'm not mistaken, the Egyptians actually nationalized the Suez Canal. That is another choke point, a very important choke point that actually connects the East and the West through the Suez Canal that is located in Egypt. And Egyptians have nationalized it, and the UK is like, listen, 80% of all the ships that arrive to the UK pass through that choke point, and we cannot let Egypt to nationalize it because it's in the interest of the national interest of the United Kingdom. The UK starts a military operations to seize it, but unsuccessfully. What happens next? The rest of the world pressures the UK, including the United States, to leave and abandon the Suez Canal. Right after that moment, the world realizes that the UK is no longer as powerful as they have been in the past. And over the next 5 to 10 years, right after that moment, the United Kingdom loses its status as the global reserve currency. Like up until that point, a third of the entire global reserve currencies were in the British pound. Right after that moment, everybody starts selling it. So it seems like the United States is experiencing the exact same thing. You're not going to see right tomorrow everybody's massively selling their US dollars, because in that case everybody is going to lose. If you have your US dollars, the world holds a lot of US treasuries, they will start selling that slowly, diversifying their portfolio and moving away from the US dollar. Not entirely abandoning to zero, but substantially. So probably literally in a couple of years from now, the dollar's share as the status of the global reserve currency will be less than half, more likely. Now here's the question, how is that going to impact the markets? First of all, oil prices have actually collapsed from $116 to less than $95, primarily because now there is not going to be a shortage of oil. Up until this agreement, the world was under pressure because the world was running out of oil. And entire nations such as Japan, South Korea, and many European countries were on the brink of catastrophe. Without oil, there is no economy. I think they have pressured the United States so much that the United States has accepted such a humiliating defeat in Iran. If you have been part of the Investing Academy, 3 days ago, I posted on the Investing Academy that do not invest in oil because something like that was possible and you're going to lose a lot of money. You can trade oil if you want, but do not invest in oil in the long term. So if you invested in oil thinking that oil prices will continue rising, then you probably lost a lot of money. But if you have been part of the Investing Academy, you would know that how the market is manipulated and why this was a bad investment. The next thing we can expect out of it is that the stock market is going to keep rising. Why? Because lower oil prices are going to lead to lower inflation. Lower inflation is going to lead to higher valuations of future cash flow, and that means that tech companies will have higher valuation. And the entire S&P 500, or at least a third of the S&P 500, are tech companies. If the valuation of tech companies are going to rise, then the entire S&P 500 is going to rise. The next thing we can expect that gold prices will continue rising. They have spiked to almost $5,000. Most likely they will cross $5,000 in the foreseeable future. And why is that happening? Because this is the end of the dollar as the global reserve currency, you have to do something with all of these treasuries. There are like almost $39 trillion of US treasuries in the market, and that number is substantially rising. So if you are Japan right now, what are you going to do? You will take all of these treasuries, you will be selling them, and you have to buy an alternative reserve, and that reserve is most likely going to be gold. You might be buying other currencies, but at least half of that is going to be gold. And Japan is just one example. So we can expect gold prices to continue rising. I think by now, if this agreement is going to continue, then gold prices could actually cross like $8,000 or $10,000 by the end of the year. So what is next? This is not the final agreement yet, and a lot of things could actually change and happen in the next 2 weeks. So we can say for a fact that this is the end of the dollar as the global reserve currency when we are going to see US military bases being closed in the entire Middle East. For now, for me, it's really difficult to believe what's happening because this seems like you started an entire war against another country and you're supposed to finish the job if you started the job. But it seems like you're backing down. This is not something like what the United States would usually do. If the United States will start the war, it will send a clear message to the rest of the world that we're committed to this war until the end, until there is going to be a regime change or a complete destruction of that country. So I won't be jumping into conclusions, but for now, within the next 2 weeks, you can expect 3 things. The stock market to rally, oil prices to come down, and gold prices to continue rising. If the dollar stops being the global reserve currency, it is going to make your dollars worthless. Your wages are not going to rise as much as the dollar is going to start losing its value. It is going to be devastated for the middle class Americans. So it has never been as important as now for you to start investing. Your dollar's potential could worth absolutely nothing. The cost of living is going to substantially rise. It is going to lead to the kind of inflation that the United States last time saw back in 1970s. So if you haven't started investing yet, and if you want a step-by-step instruction, then join the Investing Academy. You can learn everything on your own. You can start investing on your own. I'm not telling you to just join the Investing Academy. But if you want the most simple step-by-step strategy, if you want to be the first person to know where I am investing, what I am buying, and what would be the best next move, then you can join the Investing Academy. The link is in the description of this video.